Suena igual.
Yes. Yes.
So the point to your customers,
Point taken.
it'll sound the same as Mark Lettieri's guitar. It'll sound the same as David Grissom's guitar. It'll sound the same as Carlos Santana's guitar. It'll sound the same as my guitar. It'll sound the same as Mark Tremonti's guitar. It's going to sound the same as John Mayer's guitar.
Lo que pueden apoyarse para o decirle a sus clientes que va a sonar exactamente como la guitarra de los artistas, va a sonar exactamente como la guitarra de Santana, de John Mayer, de Mark Tremonti, de Mark Lettieri, de Paul Smith. Se pueden asegurarse de eso, de que son consistentes.
The only difference was that wasn't in tune and that was.
Okay, pero si no estaba afinada en otra.
No, we're good now. You can tune it later.
Yes.
It was tuned when I shipped it.
Great. Yeah, for sure.
Well, why not, right?
Yes.
Okay, so,
Red
so
rock.
this is a proof. The reason we did this was as a proof of the gear. You know, I'm using a PRS cable. It's a Shure microphone. It's an amplifier. There's not very much EQ on the outside, and I think it sounds beautiful. So I thought you were for sure going to say ZZ Top. We will go there, but we're not going to go there right this second. All right, so the question is, maybe just do this in order. Maybe what I could do is talk to everybody about how the Americans and the Europeans are selling guitars, and the Japanese. Would that help to start?
Yes.
Podemos hablar sobre, empezar a hacer las cosas en orden, sobre cómo se venden guitarras en Estados Unidos, Europa y en Japón. ¿Les serviría eso?
Yes.
In my world, the best way to sell a guitar is the way the guitar was sold to you, which is you picked it up, played it, fell in love with it, and gave them a credit card, right? Is that what happened? The way it's going now is that people search the internet for all the videos and all the things, and they'll buy the guitar on the internet, and then if they don't like it, they ship it back.
Okay. En mi mundo, la manera de vender guitarras es como la compró Memo. Vas a la tienda, tocas la guitarra, te enamoras, pasas la tarjeta. Se acabó. Pero ahora tenemos el internet y toda la gente está viendo videos, la pide por internet, llega a su casa, no les gusta y la regresa.
So when the guitar goes out to the customer and they don't like it and they send it back, we call that a boomerang.
Cuando el cliente compra la guitarra y la envía de regreso, llamamos eso boomerang.
The same word. Okay, they call it a boomerang. And we track our boomerang rate, in other words, against Epiphone and Gibson and Fender and Squier and all that's Ibanez, everybody. What is our boomerang rate versus everybody else? And we're tracking it. We're running about a quarter or a third what everybody else is running, so that when your customer gets the guitar, it doesn't come back. And that is really important, and that's done by quality control.
Of course, a
Entonces,
keeper.
lo que hacen es rastrear lo que ellos llaman una tasa de boomerang, que son las guitarras que regresan. Ellos lo comparan contra las otras marcas, contra Gibson, contra Fender, contra Ibanez, contra todos, y ellos solo tienen una cuarta parte o una tercera parte de la tasa de retornos comparación de la competencia.
So as dealers, is the guitars that you send out that somebody buys from you that comes back, it's upsetting, right? It's not a good thing. And so what we do is we check every single SE. We don't ship them without checking them. We don't send any guitars that we don't check really carefully. And I personally check every private stock.
Okay. Entonces, cuando ustedes envían una guitarra y se la regresan a sus clientes, ustedes como tienen, pues sí resulta un poco que llama la atención, sí resulta molesto. Nosotros nos tratamos de asegurarnos de revisar todas las guitarras SE, revisa todas las S2 Core, y él personalmente revisa todas las private stock.
So in America and Europe, about, I don't know, Jim, what, 42% of the sales are internet sales, something like that? Yep. Okay, something like 42% are sold on the internet. And if you don't have an internet presence and a good website and a way for people to do it, also you need videos of the products. The dealers that actually do a video of each guitar do better than the ones that don't.
Okay, entonces en Estados Unidos y en Europa el 42% de las ventas es en línea y es necesario tener una presencia fuerte en línea, y está probado que cada vez que un dealer o que una tienda hace video para cada una de las guitarras les va mucho mejor en comparación de los dealers que no lo hacen.
So I recommend, if you have a store, that you spend a lot of time on your website trying to get it to be as professional as possible, because that is noticed by all the customers now. It used to be that everybody played the guitar before they bought it. Now the percentage of time that people play a guitar before they buy it is probably what, 25%, 20%? It's really low. I can't tell you how many times people buy things without trying them anymore. And my number one recommendation is that every single person gets to try the instrument the way he tried it, because that closes the sale.
Entonces, yo lo que les recomiendo es que tengan su presencia online lo más profesional posible, lo más preparada posible, porque sí hay una diferencia en cuanto al tiempo de que la gente toca la guitarra en comparación de antes. Ahorita solo 20 a 25% de las personas tocan el instrumento antes de comprarlo.
Does that make sense to everybody?
¿Hace sentido?
Sí. ¿Verdad? Sí.
The stores that have professional salespeople that treat the customers like real human beings and try to teach them about what is good always do better than the stores that don't have professional salespeople. It's becoming rarer and rarer that somebody understands guitars, they understand vintage guitars, they understand all kinds of things. And then I'm going to tell a story.
Entonces, el otro tema es que las tiendas que tienen buenos vendedores, que tratan a los clientes como seres humanos, que tienen un conocimiento amplio, que saben de guitarras antiguas, vintage guitars, y que saben el producto, que lo conocen, les va mucho mejor contra las tiendas que no hacen esta actividad. Y ahora quiero contar una historia.
So I was at a very famous store in Chicago called Chicago Music Exchange. And this guy gets up in the middle, and I had been talking about old Stratocasters and old Les Pauls, and he goes, no. I said, what? He goes, no. I said, what? He goes, we've never played an old Les Paul. We've never played an old Strat. We think an old Les Paul is a reissue. We think an old Strat is a reissue. We've never played one. We don't know what you're talking about. I said, they're on the wall behind me. We're in a museum, you can play them. And I looked at David Colt, the person that owned the store, I said, they can play them, right? And he goes, no.
Okay. Estaba en Chicago, una tienda genial que se llama Chicago Music Exchange, y está haciendo una clínica y alguien se para enfrente de él y dice, no. ¿Qué? No. Está hablando de guitarras antiguas como Stratocasters y Les Pauls, y le dice, no hemos tocado una guitarra antigua. Para nosotros las reediciones son las guitarras antiguas, los reissues son las guitarras antiguas. No sabemos de qué estás hablando cuando dices una guitarra de los 60 o una Les Paul 59, 52. Y ahí es donde me di cuenta que tienen una pared atrás, pueden pedir tocarlas. Y el dueño de la tienda, estoy viendo al dueño de la tienda, ¿verdad? ¿Pueden tocarlas? Y él dice, no se puede.
So I realized that I had been spending my whole career going to vintage guitar shows and playing these old guitars that the masters had made. And he had never done that. And so he said, okay, hotshot, get out a stopwatch, get an old Strat, get a new Strat, get an old Les Paul, get a new Les Paul, and get your guitar out and check it with a stopwatch. Because I had been claiming at this clinic that a guitar that rings 14 seconds is not as good as a guitar that rings 45 seconds. And And you can check how good a guitar is with a stopwatch.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Entonces,
by the way, you're a very good interpreter. I want to give you a hard time, but I can't.
okay, entonces el tipo que le está preguntando le dice, a ver, don chingón, agarra una... I don't know an exact translation for hot shot. But said badass. So,
He got away with that.
Entonces, agarra una Strat vieja, una Strat nueva, una Les Paul vieja, una Les Paul nueva, y agarra tu guitarra y te voy a cronometrar. Y dice, Paul, yo llevo toda la clínica diciendo que una guitarra de que suena por 14 segundos no es tan buena como una guitarra que suena, que tiene un sustain de 45 segundos. Y que lo van a cronometrar.
There's a stopwatch on everybody's cell phone. So they got their cell phones out. The old Les Paul rang 45 seconds. The new Les Paul rang 17 seconds. The old Strat rang 48 seconds. And the new Strat rang like 13 seconds. And mine rang 48 seconds. I was so relieved.
Entonces la Strat vieja sonó por 45 segundos, la nueva por 15, la Les Paul vieja sonó por 48, la Les Paul nueva como 13 y la de él 48. Estaba muy aliviado.
So you can hear when I'm playing this guitar that the notes keep going and going and going, right? And that's part of a good guitar. You don't want it to shut the note down. And by the way, your pedal board is not going to fix it.
Ok, entonces cuando toco esa guitarra ustedes pueden escuchar que las notas siguen y siguen y siguen y siguen. Y es lo que quieres de una guitarra, que no se calle. Y por cierto, tu pedalera no va a arreglar eso. Eso es lo que hace una buena guitarra.
You guys know that pedals are heroin, right?
Sí saben que los pedales son como heroína, ¿verdad?
I gotta get another pedal. No, it's not gonna fix the guitar.
Sí saben que son como heroína. Esto es conseguir otro. Y no va a arreglar una mala guitarra.
All right, so I'm going to ask, does anybody have a question about what I've done so far? I'm talking about the depth of our quality control, the depth of all the parts that are on that guitar we made. The only thing we didn't make are the screws and the jack in the back. Everything is all proprietary. What
You
is
did?
it?
I thought you did.
What? The jack?
And the screw.
No, I thought that. No. Oh, you just started on me. You're dead man. I have a mic and you're dead. Would you? You won that one. I hate you for that.
Okay.
So anyway, what I want is for you to have an understanding that all this stuff we're doing is on purpose because we want to make real instruments. We don't want to be a brand. We want to make instruments. So everything I've covered, does anybody have a question about it? I'm kind of making a big claim. The big claim is I can get recording tones out of the PA, and the regular ones that we send that I don't bring special sound exactly the same, and the amplifier sounds the same, and it's a regular mic, and you can get unbelievable stuff out of stuff you sell out of your store that we shipped you that says PRS on the box. That's what I'm claiming. Does somebody have a question?
Ok, entonces alguien tiene una pregunta de lo que dice Paul. Dice, quiero que haya un entendimiento de la profundidad de lo que hacen en la fábrica, de la profundidad de cómo seleccionan las maderas, cómo hacen todo, que es todo lo que hay ahí, que ellos hacen, excepto los tornillos y el backplate, la cubierta que ahí lo estaba chingando yo, que si no lo hacía él. Pero sí, que si alguien tiene una pregunta, porque hay una afirmación fuerte que ellos están haciendo, o que estamos haciendo, que es decir, podemos sacar el sonido de una grabación o de un disco a través del PA con equipo que les mandamos a ustedes en sus tiendas. ¿Sí? O sea, eso es un statement bastante fuerte, es una afirmación que queremos respaldar. Y la idea de Paul es que si ustedes tienen preguntas para responderles, que ustedes puedan tener la confianza de decirle a sus clientes, de eso que vendemos puede sonar a eso.
You already did this. This clinic is not entire. Are we gonna? Is he allowed to ask a question? Yes or no? I see, go. Okay, you're done, next. Go on.
Okay, you talk about the sustain.
The what?
The sustain, or...
The sustain,
yeah, well, that happens since the SE versions?
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you.
Está hablando sobre el sustain, que si pasa desde las versiones SE.
We teach. The guitar makers in Indonesia, we talk to every day, teaching them how to make guitars. I could make that guitar in Mexico. It doesn't have to be made in the United States. It could be made anywhere, as long as you teach them right. The people that work in factories want to do a good job. They really want to do a good job. The question is, are you teaching them? If you just order a guitar and you don't teach them how to put the truss rod in, how to put the frets in, how to glue the nut on, how to level the frets, what the bridge is going to be made of, how you're going to make the pickups, all that, it won't sustain as well. I agree. But if you teach them, it's okay.
Okay.
Good luck with that one.
No, I got it. Él está hablando de las guitarras SE, que son hechas en Indonesia, para que no sepan. Yo creo que todos sabemos aquí. Pero están hechas en Indonesia y él dice que se puede, que claro que tiene el mismo sustain que una guitarra hecha en Estados Unidos. ¿Por qué? Porque hablan todos los días con la gente que está en la fábrica en Indonesia. La gente que trabaja en las fábricas quiere hacer un buen trabajo.